Hello and welcome to how I play my level 65 Beastlord. Let's get right into it here. So we're going to talk about spells, we're going to talk about any changes from here, but this video continues from my level 50 version, my level 55 version, and my level 60 version. They are incremental upgrades and changes from one to the other, so it's just, how it is. Not much changes in between the 5 levels, but enough changes that you can jump in and see at those levels. So first up, we have Frost Spear. This is our timer 7 nuke. It is near instant cast. If we target one of these right, and just boom, got him. And 794. It does more damage than it says, but that is because we have focus items and other AA modifiers to increase that damage. Next up, we have Tushar's Frost, which is another near instacast timer 11. This time, Ice Nuke, which it does more than it says. 742, 840, 74. Neither of those were crits, but you can see the significant difference there. Next up, we have Shaw's Revenge, which is our level 65 slow. 3-minute duration, almost 1 second cast time, right? It's pretty quick. Pretty nice. I almost prefer, if I'm going to slow, to use the Beastlord to slow, just because it saves the shaman to do other things in my group that I have going on here. Next up, we have Teta Blood, which is this is an instacast dot, right? So it says 417 damage per tick. Nice to have on the mob there, instacast, right? Then I have Malaria, which is another. This one's from level 40. There is no continuation of this spell at this rank, but this does 88 damage. Now it's pretty weak, all things considered. You can see there, but it is instacast, so I do have it in my dot macro here. But it's one of those things, right? If it casts, it casts. If it doesn't, I'm not losing anything. We do have, at this point, we do have Plague. So if we look at our actual spells here. It goes Malaria, Plague. Now, there might be one in between there, but that is that is 25 levels of spells with no upgrade. There could be another one. I just missed it, and it's not available yet. Now, I believe there is one here in my bag for the the next tier of spells, but I don't even see it. Festering. Yeah, there we go. Festering Malady. That one should be the upgrade to that. I don't know if that's instacast or not, but that's at level 70. So, it is what it is there. Next up, we got Tushar's Mending, which I was actually surprised because I had never even noticed this spell on any of my other Beastlords. Mends severe wounds, healing between 1,000 and 1,000 hit points. If the target is an enemy, you will heal that enemy's current target instead. So I'm like, what? A target of target healing spell for a Beastlord? That is nice. So I put that on my bar. I don't have it macroed or anything right now. I do have this one right here, which will heal X target 20, whoever it is, but that is the only one I have. Now, I'm trying to think of how to integrate this into my rotation, right? So if I just throw it in there, right, and I just start spamming, what is that, 4? So there we go. Tushar's Mending. So it's going to be a DPS loss if I put it in my multibind. So that's not something smart to do. So I need to figure out a way to do it. I'm thinking 6, because I'm thinking about putting some shaman stuff on 6. So 6 is available. I'm thinking about that right now, but it should be a nice way for me to get a little extra power out of this character, but we'll see. The next up, we have Growl of the Leopard. Now, if you remember in any of the shaman stuff, they have Spirit of the Leopard. This one buffs our pet and our pet alone. to increase the damage by 15%, healing 80 health every 6 seconds, and increase your maximum hit points by 850. This is kind of crazy if we think about it. So the pet gets this too. I get it and the pet gets it. So it's something definitely worth casting. Now I believe it got blocked. Let me see here. Because I don't see it over here. Oh, there it is. It's this short duration song buff. So that's even better. So it goes over here. That's nice. So both my pet and I get the 15% extra damage. But there's also a heal over time effect on there also. That is nice. Then Ferocity, which is an upgrade over Savagery, I think it was. So this is a pretty nice little spell. Increases resistance, attack rating, and stamina. So I've been casting it on myself. I believe there's a group version of it we get later on, but I cast it, boom, more attack. I want to cast it on the Shadow Knight, but he is buff capped like every time I try to do anything, so it's just not even worth trying. This character has less buffs, so it works better that way. And then finally, I had, what was it called? This thing, Spiritual Dominion. Yeah, Spiritual Dominion in the last slot, which is our mana regen, HP regen spell. And I just keep that mem there at all times. It doesn't really matter. Like, I can put whatever there. That is my flex spot. So when I cast any of these other buffs, right? So if we go over here next to my group, I have Spiritual Dominion. So just for some reason it's not there. Spirit of Sorsha, which is our pet, current level pet, 65. The pet proc is Spirit of Relic. That is the current one. And then Arg's Celerity is our pet haste. And then I got Hovel of Spirits, which is an AA, which allows the pet to trigger a snare. It's a permanent buff. You only have to cast it once per warder. It's pretty nice. Spiritual Vigor. I think originally it was called Brawn. That's why the thing says Brawn. But this is our HP buff line that we get here. So it seems to stack with everything I have going on. I know it does not stack with Paladin's Brels. So this is like the HP type 3 or 2, I think, whatever it is. Yeah, type 2. So anything in the type 2 line here is not going to stack with, so keep that in mind, but it is a nice extra bit of HP and attack that we can collect from the Beastlord. And then I have Spirit of the Shrew. It's really not even used anymore for me, the way I play, since we do have a Shaman. I think that'll become Talatak when we get 75. Hotbar wise, nothing has changed here. Nothing has changed here. We still have the slow debuff, which is just a basic slow macro. We have a basic dot macro. Nothing's changed there. Nothing's changed there. We did add Spiritual Frenzy of Spirit, to the multi-bind, which increases our melee speed by 99% and our attack power by 250 for 48 seconds, 12-minute reuse. Now, one camp could say, hey, this is a burn, you should put it in your burn button. And another camp would say, if it's in my burn button, I'm never going to use it because I don't burn. So I have it there on my multi-bind. I use everything on cooldown. Most encounters where I need it, I've probably waited a few minutes before I even engaged it, to make sure that I was buffed or something like that on like a truly hard encounter. Like say, like the missions where you go in and you just like activate the boss, right? Like Zelandakar or Gricklor or something like that, where you just go in and bam, you get a boss, right? Those missions, those kind of missions, like it's always up because you're starting fresh each time. On other things like, say, Final Fuge, or some of the other stuff like the broken mirror missions where you have to clear like a whole entire dungeon before you can even fight the boss. Those ones, you know, it might not be up when you get to the boss, but you know, hey, you had it during the clear, so that's all that matters. Let's see here. We did pick up the Beastial Alignment, which is it's just an hour reuse, so I don't have this in my burn. I mean my multi-bind, but this one increases our melee damage by 100% and grants us a 20% chance to resist anything. And it also turns us into a tree. So there is that. This is, you know, this is just a kind of a burn. I don't have any burn buttons set up on this character yet, but when we do, that'll be one of the things in that button. We also have a Beastial Fury discipline we can use. This will increase our damage of our melee attacks, 30-second duration, 25-minute reuse. I'm going to keep this one in, since it's a timer 3, right? I'm going to keep it in kind of like selective. This would be in the burn button probably. Give us more melee damage. But at this point, I'm, you know, the way I play is I have to position, you know, everybody right. And so in that, there's a low chance of me actually getting a good position sometimes on some of this stuff. So if it's a longer fight, I will obviously set up the positioning right. But most of the time, it's just whatever happens, happens. Mobs die so fast, it doesn't even matter. So, you know, that's the spells that I use, going through all that. We were going through the multi-bind, that's everything else is the same. Like nothing has changed on any of these hotbar buttons that I can see. We do have Paragon, but we got that at 60. It's still rank 1. I use it as much as possible, just because it helps. Now, if you're... Oh, that's nice. I could claim that. Let's see. Well, let me think about who I want to claim that on. But that's not what I was looking at. So right now, you can get a staff here in the store that'll teleport you to Dagnor's Cauldron. So that's available if you don't already have it. But this video is probably coming out way after that. So, well, you know, it is what it is. But that for the Beastlord, that is everything. If there's any questions or comments, something I'm doing wrong, something I need to add, something I need to do, let me know, and I will look into making sure that I can do that in the next video. So it's, you know, like I'm pretty far out. I'm enjoying this series way too much, and I'm having a terrible time getting a group on Teak. So might as well play these guys, right? During this July 4th experience bonus. But you know, it is what it is. These guys, this character is pretty much like solid at this point. I can't imagine anything I'm doing wrong, but if there is, please post a comment. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.